Welcome to Renting in Puglia. I'm Davide Mengoli and I'm with two amazing people here that came all the way from the United States. Introduce yourself. You don't have to say your surnames, you know, because people Google it and like,
yes, I'm Don.
Famous scientist. No.
And I'm Mahlon, and we're very happy to be here.
Yes, we're very excited to be here.
So it's great because your journey started probably a year and a half ago now, and you had a couple of requests. You needed to rent a property where you could sort of settle because you left everything behind, huh?
We did. We sold everything. We sold our home fully furnished, everything. And when we reached out to you guys, we were looking for a long-term rental. We didn't really want 2-3 years because we wanted to buy a property. Had watched your videos, had seen.
So you're one of the victims.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I used to walk on the treadmill every morning. I would watch, Salento with Love and Renting in Puglia, and we saw that you could do a year lease, which was perfect for us. The properties were much better than anything that we'd seen that we were looking at otherwise, and so we reached out and here we are.
In your case, you were applying for an elective visa.
Yes.
And applying for an elective visa means that the process starts back home, in your case in the United States.
Right.
And so you need to go through the visa. And apart from all the financial elements and requirements, one of the requirements, I believe still the same, that you need at least a 12-month lease already in place when you were applying for the visa. Right. So how was Renting in Puglia helpful in that respect?
We immediately contacted Anna Maria, and she showed us a few properties by video, and we selected one right there in Galatone, and it took maybe a week or so or less before we got the lease.
Wow.
And zapped it to us by
Yes.
email, printed it out, took it with our elective visa application to Boston, and we were in.
So it's important for the contract because I think this is one of the things that Renting in Puglia, it's very different from people potentially renting through an expats community or on Facebook or finding somebody, because the contract needs to be registered with the Agenzia delle Entrate. So that is actually something that will be approved by the Italian consulate in the US or in England or wherever you are. So which house did you stay? Because now you've moved, so now you moved somewhere else.
Right. It was in Galatone on Alessandro Manzoni.
In fact, the house is called Manzoni House.
Manzoni
Yes.
House.
Manzoni
Yeah,
House.
beautiful. 3 bedrooms, 2 floors, beautiful terrace.
2 baths.
Yeah, we got there. There was a
Kitchen,
little welcome
balconies.
basket for us.
You know, with Salento, we love over the years, I've dealt with short of a few hundred clients at the moment, and each one has got different stories, but people that are actually relocating, it's probably a new, I can't say new breed, but it's becoming more of a phenomenon at the moment. So how was your impact with living the United States and arriving here in south of Italy? Because also when it comes to south of Italy, there is a lot of stereotypical opinions about south of Italy being whatever, dangerous, or people with leather jackets, But how was your impact after you arrived here? 'Cause what time of the year did you get here?
We got here in
September.
September. Yeah.
So temperatures are still nice and warm and people are still having fun. So what was your impact?
To me, it was like a breath of fresh air. We just did a big collective sigh. We're finally here. We left the cold Maine weather behind us and just stepped into the perfect Puglian atmosphere. And
honestly, yeah, the people you mentioned, like being, we actually took a trip in the previous February, came to Puglia and kind of looked around, and the people in the neighborhood were welcoming us, the local businesses, all very welcoming. They came over and greeted us.
we had already driven through the town like a year before, so we knew what it looked like. We sort of remembered some of the people that were always on the streets, and it was just a perfect transition for us.
Fantastic. That was interesting talking about renting in Puglia because, thanks very much for offering to do a testimonial on the channel. So thank you for that. But a year contract meant also that you took charge of the utility bills. How did you manage that? Paying for example, the electricity, the water?
Well,
We didn't have to do a thing.
it was pretty easy. Salento with Love took care of everything for us.
Oh, that's another company. That's another channel. Well, we'll be talking about that. But so you actually took charge as well of the utilities.
We did. We took everything over, but we set up an account and everything with
That's
renting
right,
in Puglia, and everything was.
So that wasn't at the end of the month or every month you were not worrying about, oh, what about the electricity? Well, who's going to pay for it? And
No.
so yes, that's probably also one of those things that removes that element of stress of making sure that you're up to date with the bills, when you're renting a property.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
How was the house?
The house was amazing.
The house was amazing,
Yeah.
yes.
From the moment we walked up the steps and put our bags down and just looked, and the kitchen, everything was set up, everything was there, dishes, everything you needed to cook with.
There was food in the refrigerator,
Yeah.
a selection of meats.
That was from the previous people. No, you're joking.
It seemed fresh. It was pretty good. There was water. There was everything that
Yeah,
we
but-
needed. It was
Ample closet space. We were hoping we rented a bigger place because we thought people were going to come over immediately and visit. But I know we'll get to that, but we found a place pretty quickly, so nobody really had time. But we were
Come over.
Yeah, but we were set up to have.
I just think it's fascinating to find, just like remote purchasing a house, but arriving and having all these doubts, and all of a sudden you arrive and everything, it's ready for you.
Everything's
Yeah,
set up.
everything
Beds
was-
were made. We just put our stuff down and.
It's also interesting because anyone who's been watching the channel or watching some of the towns, they get fixated about one town or another town simply because that's the town that they've experienced through a YouTube video or through someone else, through an expat. But after being here, because you've been here, now you're a true testimonial to Salento. After being here for a year and a half, do you believe that one town versus another town or another town or another town really makes the difference?
I think it depends on what you're looking for, because some towns are bigger and busier, some towns are more quiet. But we would have been happy to stay in Galatone. We would have been happy anywhere, honestly. But I think as you go and you tour the different towns, you find something that just feels right to you.
Yeah.
That's sort of cutrifiana for us. We just kept coming back. We would go to Lecce, we go to Norway, and there'd be activity. It was very, very lively, and which we loved. But then at the end of the day, you come back, it was just kind of So sort of that's how we settled it into cutrifiana.
in the terms of people, culture, and food. I think there wasn't much difference. It's beautiful in every single city that we visited, but just depending on our particular wants or needs or our checklist, and this town fit the bill for us.
Very good. So renting in Puglia overall?
Excellent. Would would recommend it to anybody.
We
Some
have.
relatives that have been looking, and we made that connection.
We have recommended to many people,
Yes.
and we just said it was the
Thank you.
perfect experience.
experience.
Now, in your case, it was a 12-month rental contract, but then you found a property, so you terminated that contract by giving notice, which is also a great opportunity. You're renting a property maybe for 3 months, 6 months, and this is where renting in Puglia is very different from other platforms that perhaps you can just book for a few days. So these longer terms really has allowed you to then settle. Was the transition to terminate the contract and settling the utilities and everything else smooth, or did you have any hiccups there?
Not one hiccup.
It was very smooth. I don't
Yeah,
remember
everything
any
was just-
hiccups at all. It was.
In fact, I'm trying to remember how it even. It just happened.
It just seemed seamless.
Yeah.
It just seemed seamless. Everything was done for us.
Well, I'll say thank you very much. For anyone watching this testimonial, jump on the other channel, because there'll be another testimonial about the continuation of your experience, because renting the property was part of your experience that allowed you to get here and settle. Also, you could have thought, or you could have decided that Salento is not for you, and you could have done something else. So the renting process allowed you as well to look, observe, and then make another decision which took you to a different dimension, which we would like to talk about on another channel. So press the link above. Is he above here? Is he above there? I'm not sure. On the left? Is he on the left? Yeah, press on the left, on the right, wherever he appears, to watch the video on Salento with Love channel. Well, thank you very much, both of you. It's a privilege for me that to have met two people like yourselves and to be part of your journey.
Yeah, and we consider it a privilege to have found you all.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
And
So thank you very much. Because we've got to say this all over again, I will leave it at that. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for being part of the channel. So if you've enjoyed the video, leave a comment below. Always important. Press the little bell, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video here at Renting in Puglia. And if you're looking at renting, come over here to Salento, just send us an email. Till the next one.